would be funny though. It's like, let's say somebody in the Days group, whatever, Billy Jefferson. All right, so Billy Jefferson lost his $1 trillion or whatever, and then he got back like 20,000.
Yeah.
Like, well, I got something back. That's fine. Or did they take them out? Like, all right, no, these 200 people don't even get the scraps back. Hey, Internet! It's Paul. It's Matt. The Dork Lords. We are talking about Mr. Robot. Season 4, Episode 10, Gone. Was this a good episode, Mr. Bunton?
I was fine with it, even though basically I'm grading it on a curve because, like, it's ending.
Yeah.
So,
I got some flack for being less than pleased with the Vera therapy episode.
Did you?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, I thought they were going to be on your side.
I don't know. I wasn't thrilled with this one either. Again, I think if this came in the middle of season 2, I'd probably be like, all right. But the fact that it's at the end of the final season.
Oh, in season 2?
I'm just throwing out season 2. In other words, if it's somewhere in the middle of this series, I'm okay with this episode on it as a standalone. But coming so close to the end, and in fact, we learned that.
I don't even know what that episode would be.
We know that the last 2 episodes are going to be back to back, so in fact, there are just 2 weeks left of this show.
Right.
And I just feel like, this was a Dom Darlene episode.
Yes.
I feel like it could have been a Dom and Darlene 10 minutes. Like, I feel like it could have been a subplot. It could have been the B plot in an otherwise episode about Elliot and White Rose or something like that. And then meanwhile, Dom and Darlene have this thing to the airport. Like, I felt like that's where I was like, there's a lot of cool stuff going on that we're not seeing right now. Like, what happened to White Rose? We'll find that out next week. But what happened to White Rose after the cops broke in and there was a shootout in her house? We don't know. Because we're dealing with Dom and Darlene.
Get him! Get him! Get him, my pretties! No.
Anyway, but yes. Anyway,
the show has to end. The show is ending. You have to see what happens to these characters.
And you
now,
even mentioned
you could be frustrated by the fact that actually presumably it's setting people up for what's happening in the last part because, of course, they're not together.
They being
Dom and Darlene.
Correct.
You
mentioned that you thought a nice ending for them might be that they come back together, or at least we see an end. So then, in some ways, this was the end beat, where they come back together and they maybe realize each of them in their own way that they can stand on their own. In the case of Darlene, she gets these panic attacks because she's like, "Oh, I'm on my own," and she kind of finds a way to deal with that. Says, I'm okay.
One thing that we had, which I thought they handled okay, which is with the woman dealing with her in the restroom with having a panic attack, she's able to say the thing that was the subtext, which is, I'm frightened to handle this by myself, but I can do it.
I can do it.
But we don't have that with Dom, where...
Well, we do have a little bit with Dom, because what Dom has said earlier in the episode is, I haven't slept in years, and then she gets on the plane.
Yeah, but we don't know the
relationship. But
we don't know the relationship between why she decided to. Initially, she's like, I have to do my family. I can't do this. I can't do this. So there's a change of motivation there that we're not aware of at all. Her going to sleep doesn't tell you what that. Did she decide? You know what? Fine, my family will be fine, and let me try to make something with, Darlene. We don't know. We don't know what she was thinking. That's a fairly good guess, but as much as she was like, no, yes. It's just, So I would have liked a little more, but maybe that's coming. Maybe they're,
I don't know. I almost feel like we've seen the last of Dom, but maybe not. I don't know. Like this felt like a send-off episode for Leon, for Irving, and then I thought maybe for Dom as well. Now, obviously, there's more for Darlene to do, but
yeah, and
I don't know about Dom.
It's possible that it's the last for Leon, but he really did sort of, if you need anything, if you have anything you need, just tell me, and so he'll be there for anything that could come up like that.
I did like the moment when Dom walks into the hotel room, sees
Yes.
sees Leon there.
Yes.
It's like, you didn't mention this.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then she's just like, oh yeah.
Yeah, the assassin who killed a bunch of guys right in front of you, who works for the Dark Army, neglected to mention he's in
the only
hotel
person
room.
that has full recall of it is Dom.
Yep. Because like, which killing?
Like what? I've done so many.
4 people.
So,
you have to be more specific.
Yeah.
When did
a farm?
Oh, in a barn.
A barn?
Maybe. Oh, right, that was you. I was interested. I had to look it up because it's been a while since I read my Kurt Vonnegut, but his whole thing about I have to take a mirror.
Yes.
And then he's really upset that people don't get literary references.
Yes.
It's a Vonnegut reference to a character called Kilgore Trout. Kilgore Trout shows up in various Vonnegut books, and he's kind of the instigator to the protagonist. Okay. But one of the things he does, one of his little things is, he thinks that mirrors are gateways to parallel universes. And so when he says, I'm taking a mirror, it's taking a leak. And so he's talking about, he's using it as a slang for go to the bathroom. Right. But it's anyway. So, like, in other words, mirrors are leaks into a parallel universe.
Okay.
Which, again, if you were going to be conspiracy theorists, you would go, maybe this is another hint from our team that the White Rose thing is either like a parallel universe. Anyway, but that's what that's all about. Leon's in cahoots. Darlene could have mentioned that, and you're right. She's so blasé about it. Oh yeah, right. He's on. Yeah. I should have mentioned that. Oh, well. Just give you a heart attack. Yeah. No, that's fine. Yeah. You assumed you were dead when you walked into this room, but sorry. The Irving bit, I thought, I love the character Irving, and I was like all ready for him to come back this season. And the way they brought him back, I was not pleased with. It was like, he's selling books at the airport.
It's like you would have rather him take an axe to the woman selling the books in the airport.
Sure. Yep.
Oh, hey.
Hi, how you doing? No, I'm too busy doing this. I don't have time to axe you.
You might be curious about the Dark Army,
but
trust me, they haven't thought about you. They don't care. You're all right.
So he's selling the book that he was writing about. Back then, was it Beach Towel? I think is the name of the book. It sounds terrible, but anyway, it's a bestseller, or it's at least it's on the list.
Look at you risking the wrath of.
I mean, it sounds great. Sign me up for Beach Towel. The book written by the guy who's never written a book before. Great. Okay. Anyway, but
he. I wonder if that's his plan. Get people to buy it. Like, just sign it. There you go. Ha.
So it's possible, I suppose, that he really was there to check up on them. But I don't think it. I think they were just like, this is his send. We're going to show you him before we end the series. This is what he's doing now. He's selling books at the airport.
Well, yeah. I mean, yes.
But he's still connected. Because he still was like...
Yeah, he knows. He's positive that they're not interested in her anymore.
Which, again, that was really convenient, too. I don't know,
Yeah.
Like, if she doesn't get that information and believe it, then she would have no reason to,
To go home?
Yeah. And so it's just kind of this very convenient
I think
thing
she
of like,
had...
by the way, they're not interested in you.
I still think she would have a reason. I think she's, because her family... is on the run. Now that she has it, you're right. Now she can leave them. Now she doesn't need to be with her family anymore. But until then, it's like having that group of people watch him, and then
and I guess
having her around too, just more protection.
I guess I didn't buy either the notion that the Dark Army wouldn't be interested in them. I haven't convinced maybe the fact that they can't do any more damage. But the damage they did was like trillions of dollars, I think, and those are all the people funding the Dark Army. I think it just from revenge, they'd be like, kill them off.
I think
we want to make an example so other people don't try to do this.
I don't think so. Okay. I mean, my opinion is not that. My opinion is, and granted, I don't think we've actually seen too many people who are the type of people who are doing the things that we're talking about, which is I assume to be hackers.
Sure.
And so they, just like Elliot, hack into places and get what they need. So, and presumably, at least, they're among the people that got all that money. Apparently everybody got money. So apparently they might be like, let those go.
You wonder.
Presumably they can get money anyway, and that's what I'm thinking. It's like they're already set up to go plunder whatever they want to plunder.
Sure.
So this
said
plot
they're on to
didn't
the
work.
next thing, which is probably the thing that the machine is probably the thing that Dark Army's worried about.
Could be, I guess. I mean,
The trailers show like a showdown coming between, or at least a sit-down meeting between Elliot and White Rose, and so that's coming.
I think of the Dark Army as an arm, not necessarily an integrated arm.
Its own entity.
Yeah, I mean, because that's how we discovered them in the first place, right? It was the Dark Army, like
they do the wet works for rich people.
Yeah,
But in any case, we'll believe it. But it's also interesting that she believes it. Here's Irving going, "No, you're fine."
Yeah, yep.
And she's like, "All right, I believe you enough that I trust my family's life to it that moment." Anyway, if that's the last we see of Irving, which I think it is, I would have preferred to him not be quite so forced into a moment where it's just like, we need someone to tell this information to her so she can make a choice at the airport. Oh, we'll put Irving in there. All right, great. Now he's gone. Like,
You're bloodthirsty.
I thought it was a little. I did like the moment where as Darlene says, she Robin Hooded the rich folks.
Yep.
I felt like she had that information for a while though, because it's when she offers it to Elliot to say, "Hey, do you want to push the button?"
Yep.
He's like, "No, you do it. It's up to you."
Yep.
And then she holds on to it. She wants to get to a public place.
Yeah.
But I'm like, what if Leon is actually working for the other side and just goes, boom? Like she was taking a chance that they wasn't going to be able to actually do the thing.
I mean, there's an action of I've taken your money from you.
Sure.
And then what I'm going to do with it now.
Yeah.
So
the money's already taken.
Yes.
So it doesn't. The stakes were somewhat low,
Yeah.
except for the people getting the money, which
Right.
which we don't know how much it is. But she says, Dom's like, "Oh, does everybody get this much?" The implication being it's fairly a reasonable amount, right? It's not like everybody gets $2. If you
like the result of a class action.
Right, exactly. You have just won a class action lawsuit. Here's your $2.27. Part of a giant reward. So, do we feel like that's everybody in the world? Is that everybody in America? I don't know. Everybody that has eCoin? Maybe that's
probably.
So it's maybe like there's somebody, it's like the neighbor who didn't get eCoin. It's like, damn it! Oh my God! Everyone else is like hundreds of thousands of dollars. They're buying yachts. We're the new rich class. You're the guy who's now.
It doesn't really sound like the other people haven't.
Yeah.
So most people have eCoin, I would assume.
Everybody in that little area did. The small sample size was, we're all wealthy now. Or, I don't know if it's wealthy, but it'd be interesting. Yeah. Anyway, she calls it the single greatest redistribution of wealth in history. So
right.
And gave to everyone else.
Or eCoin was Ecor's thing,
Yeah.
which technically is not a part of White Rose, but what White Rose caused that to sort of happen. What White Rose did, well, I shouldn't say White Rose. It was actually what Elliot did, right? That caused the initial problem that made everybody, okay, we should go to eCoin. And that just happened to fit into what White Rose was doing, I guess.
Yeah. The plan.
So
to get something disconnected.
It just makes me
from the
wonder,
US dollar.
like, typically, I guess, it's like, did they take the money from the rich guys, or did they also take it from the system that is eCoin?
Oh.
So which everybody should have been like, fuck, all the money that we had is gone. So everybody gets back more than they had, then that would be all right. But
I see what you mean.
You got some questions in terms of that, but
okay.
I could live with.
I think it was just the rich
answers.
folks. I think it was the idea of just the people
Right,
that were at the
right,
Deus
right,
group
right.
took their money, which was significant,
and
then just redistributed it to everyone else.
That's interesting.
I
wonder
if actually
that's the thing that's so hard to conceive of, because you have to keep thinking like, oh, Bill Gates has enough money for X number of people, and it's just hard to think of that,
Right. It would be funny though. It's like, let's say somebody in the Deus group, whatever, Billy Jefferson. All right, so Billy Jefferson lost his $1 trillion or whatever, and then he got back like 20,000.
Yeah.
Like, well, I got something back. That's fine. Or did they take them out? Like, all right, no, these 200 people don't even get the scraps back. That's funny. So there is a meeting between Darlene and Elliot, and I was expecting this meeting to maybe be about the past, because we've had this. Elliot has a realization that in his childhood he was abused, and Darlene was there, and we still haven't had the Darlene and Elliot talk about the past. Like, was she aware of it?
Right.
Was there something going on that she was totally unaware of?
Right.
In which case, Elliot would have some big news for her. Or was she aware of it and she was trying to protect him by not telling him, much like Mr. Robot in a way? And that would also be pretty revelatory.
Right.
So that scene is coming, I think, but we did not see it here. Hence, I think there's more for Darlene to do, even though she's said she's out of this plan.
Yeah,
It's like, I got to go do a thing without you. She's
It'd be interesting if she was aware, since A, she is younger than Elliot, and B, at least at one time that kind of led to the revelation, he put her in a closet to sort of protect her. So that might have been, he was trying to keep her out in the dark. So, I mean, I'm wondering what she was aware of, what the extent was. Maybe she was putting things together and then, so who knows?
And what's her opinion
so it
of
just
her
makes
dad
it more
and,
important, obviously Darlene and Elliot have more scenes.
Right. So I was kind of saying, oh, is this that moment? And it wasn't. They hugged and parted ways, but since she didn't get on the plane, I think that they're going to meet up again.
Yeah.
I saw some theories online that maybe that plane blows up. I was like, really? That's pretty dark. Like, Dom finally gets the rest she hasn't had in years. And oh, no, it was a dark plot. Irving blew up the plane.
Yeah, I'm about to say that changes that scene.
Yeah.
So nobody cares about you.
Yeah.
Hey, you should get the peanuts, on that flight. You should.
Yes. Open them. Only when you're at 20,000 feet. I don't think that's the way that's going.
No, I don't think so either.
I think Dom has taken a trip for herself.
Yes.
And it will not die as a result of it. We checked in with folks. This is the Dom and Darlene episode. I think Dom has forgiven Darlene, I would say.
Yeah.
I mean, she had a lot to forgive her for.
Yeah.
I think maybe this episode, it kind of came to a meeting of the minds.
Sure.
There's that moment when Darlene's giving out the cash and she's like, wee! And Dom's like, first of all, this is illegal. So I'm like, what do you... Yeah. So it was kind of seeing their personality types there was kind of interesting. And they didn't seem, as much as they were on the lam, I mean, they were like, oh, we're going to take the back roads to Logan Airport. Like, you couldn't be in a more publicly visible place than walking around this giant airport with cameras everywhere, security everywhere, a Dark Army guy selling books in the bookstore at Hudson News. It just felt like all of your attempts, like you did all these, like, let's go into their country and da-da-da-da-da-da, and we'll end up, in the place where they would be looking for us. Like, not the best escape route, but that's why I was expecting the woman in the bathroom to be a Dark Army person. When Darlene's freaking out, she's like, oh, do you need some help? I'll help you. Where's your brother or whatever? But no, that's because I've been watching this show.
Yeah, you're paranoid.
I assume the worst about everyone. I'm like, oh, she's too nice. That means she's evil. She's probably a taxidermist. But yeah, anyway. So there you go.
There you go.
It was not my favorite episode, but it had value. It wasn't like, oh, it's a piece of crap. I'm eager for this to see what happens. That 2-hour finale is probably just going to be lights out, amazing. Elliot, White Rose. I'm really looking forward to it. And maybe we meet this third personality.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Yeah, I'm very much... I might not know what I think until the final scenes of it.
Okay.
I have not felt as excited about this season as previous seasons, and so this last episodes, I think they're doing what they need to do, and the things that Elliot is dealing with is interesting. But I don't know that I feel like it's ending as skillfully as I might have liked.
I still do feel like there's some good stuff coming, and I think they can stick the landing. Let's stick the landing, baby. Woo! So, but first we got another episode, then we get the 2-hour finale. So we'll be back talking about that. We're talking about the end of Watchmen coming up, and the Mandalorian with little baby Yoda.
Yes.
So thanks, everybody, and we'll see you next time.